Welcome to our web exclusive. I'm Mike Montecalvo along with Eyewitness News Analyst Lt. General Reginald Centracchio. General, big story. We're hearing that President Obama has decided not to withdraw troops from Afghanistan at least until the end of this year. I think we're talking about 9,600 troops. He's met with the new Afghan president. What kind of a relationship do both men have at this point?
Right now, a pretty good one, better than they did with Karzai. I think what you're seeing here is an insurance that we do not do the same thing we did in Iraq by removing troops. There has to be a residual force, in this case around 9,800 troops, to be able to stay in Iraq, in Afghanistan rather, through the end of 2015, with a follow-on force after that just to man the embassy. Right now, that's the case.
Now, is this to what they're calling designed to bolster American counterterrorism efforts in that country?
Well, to some extent, yes. But I think the mainstay is to be able to train the Afghan army and security forces to be able to take on their own mission. And leaving prematurely, as we did in Afghan, creates a void. ISIS steps in. They're not capable of maintaining their own security, and I think there's two reasons for this. One is to make sure that that void doesn't happen, and secondly is to make sure that the Afghan forces are properly trained to be able to maintain their own security.
All right, we saw what happened with the pullout in Iraq. Obviously, you said you don't want to see that happen in Afghanistan, but what happens when you have declining troops and you're talking about counterterrorism efforts?
You know, it's a challenge, as is the case as we speak. Now, I'm not changing subjects here, but if you look at Yemen in the last couple of days, we have no intelligence gathering capability at all whatsoever because all of our troops are gone. So we must depend really on other countries. That is not the case in Afghanistan right now. But as we take down troops, our ability to gather intelligence through U.S. capability will be further degraded, and we need to concentrate and rely on other countries for that intelligence.
Now, General, is the strategy change? Are we looking at maybe more airstrikes instead of ground troops?
No, I think you're looking at the strategy as far as air war is concerned will probably continue and perhaps even increase a little bit. But once again, we're depending upon intelligence that's gotten from other countries. To be able to put 9,800 troops on the ground for another year or the balance of this year is not intended to do anything, as far as I can see, but to ensure that the Afghan capability is bolstered and, in fact, they can do their job by the end of 2015.
You've been saying all along that you wanted to see this move happen.
Absolutely.
So you're going to be happy with this? I
am happy, and we'll probably face the same challenge as we did in Iraq, and that is to have an agreement of forces. You know, who can do what to who. These are the solidarity of U.S. forces, and the fact that we have command and control over them should not interfere with whether, in fact, Afghanistan has any authority over U.S. troops or not.
All right, you're talking about 9,800 troops. How many from Rhode Island?
Right now we have 50, just about 50, and they're in support of missions across Central Command and aviation specifically.
All right, let's kind of go local a little bit right now, a topic that I know you're very familiar with. In Governor Gina Raimondo's budget right now, and obviously it has not been approved yet, she has some money earmarked for new headquarters for the National Guard. This is something you talked about for a long time ago at Camp Fogarty.
In fact, during my tenure, we identified a long-range program. In fact, the United States Property and Fiscal Office, the Troop Command Headquarters, a new Combined Support Maintenance Facility, and the new National Guard Headquarters would be at Camp Fogarty. So now we're seeing that come into fruition. The money that's in her budget is nothing more than perhaps a match to some extent with federal money that would come in. So when we build new facilities like this, especially at Fogarty, which is federal land, the state does not pay the entire bill. It's somewhat of a small match to other federal monies coming in.
Well, it could get dicey a little bit here with the state paying millions in debt.
It is, and that's been the concern all along with any kind of construction we do. Would it save the base at Quonset? I mean, that's pure federal. But when you get into a mix and match, say for instance, every dime of state money we put in, we get 90 cents of federal money. If that dime disappears, then you don't get the 90 cents. And that's always a hazard and a concern. I'm hopeful that this budget will maintain and that'll be sustained in order to complete the project.
All right, General, as always, thank you for your thoughts, and thanks for watching.